is about Al-Hajj, the pilgrimage. We are counting down to those أيام معلومات, from the time that people today thinking about performing the Hajj, or other got approved already, or somebody thinking about it. And today we're gonna go over the benefits that we gain from the Hajj. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. Allah has clearly indicated that people owe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to perform the Hajj. And it's the fifth pillar of Islam. So the Islam, you perform Islam, there is one pending till you find the way to go and perform the pilgrimage. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in another ayah, and as we all know, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala order you to do active worship, you know you gain benefit in this dunya as well. Like the prayer, your body workout. The fasting is body maintenance. Any act of worship, it has a benefit, direct benefit to you. Now we'll see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say about the Hajj. When Allah honored the Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, to order him to call for people. When he say, وَأَذِّن فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا وَعَلَى كُلِّ ضَامِرٍ يَأْتِينَ مِنْ كُلِّ فَجٍّ عَمِيقٍ ليشهدوا منافع لهم ويذكروا اسم الله في أيام معلومات على ما رزقهم من بهيمة الأنعام. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered the Prophet Ibrahim to call for people where there was no people around to come and perform the pilgrimage. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala confirmed to the Prophet Ibrahim that they will come on foot and all kind of transportation from every deep corner of the world. And we see it today. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the reason for this Hajj, ليشهدوا منافع لهم, to see benefits for themselves. Benefits. You go to this place that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed for you to gain benefit. The scholars say benefits is benefit for this dunya and benefit for hereafter. Others say the benefit is people go and trade and you buy stuff and you get to know each other. For benefit is all benefit, and there is even more benefit based on your time. So let's make this trip, use our imagination and data we have, and let's go in this khutbah, we take ourselves, our soul, and go make this pilgrimage and do this activity in our head and see what kind of benefit we gain from this pilgrimage. First, you do the niyyah. Everything in Islam, you have to do the intention. The intention that intentionally I do the Hajj. And before you go there, you have to clean yourself and you have to wear the uniform, the ihram. So here you are, you take your shower, you put your perfume, you dry yourself, you put 2 sheets on you. Now look at the mirror. Now we're taking this trip seriously and we'll see, try to imagine the benefit we gain from this trip. Now you have only 2 sheets on you. Look at the mirror. Do you see yourself? Yeah. What happened is, this is where you came to this life, same shape, but you didn't see yourself. Also, you're gonna leave this land just like that. And you're not gonna see yourself. Now, you do imitation when you were born and you were leaving this land. Okay, wait a minute, here's your car key. No need, no pockets. Here's your house key. No need. Credit card, no. Money, no. Nothing, no. وَتَزَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى. You only get it with you is your deeds and how much you fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You go fly or drive to Mecca. The first thing you do, here is the Kaaba. You go 7 times around it, tawaf. You start from Hajar al-Aswad and you end at Hajar al-Aswad 7 times other clockwise. Like everything, like the earth rotate other clockwise on the sun, and the moon rotate otherwise on the earth, and the electron rotate otherwise on the nuclear. Everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created to be in harmony. You go around, you do zikr for Allah, you recite the Quran, you do the dua for Allah, you humble to Allah. And look at the Kaaba. You know what happened to you, the story of this Kaaba? You know this Kaaba, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the foundation for Ibrahim and put this wall, Ibrahim. Who's Ibrahim? Ibrahim is the one who, young man, destroyed all those idols. You know Ibrahim at this location a few thousand years ago, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him to take his newborn baby and his mother to this land. Desert, there is no Zamzam, there was no water, there was nothing. Ibrahim, that he married twice, old man over 60 years old, married twice and got the first baby. Ibrahim, take your first baby and his mother to this land alone. It's order from Allah. Did Ibrahim hesitate to do that? No. He took his newborn baby and his mother to this land that you are going around and do the tawaf. In your background, think about this man, the heart of this man. Take your newborn baby to the middle of the desert. No hesitation. Took him there. As he's turning around, going away, his wife Hajj said, Ibrahim, where are you going? Going home. How about us? We stay. Ibrahim, desert, no food, nothing. Ibrahim, is this your idea of God's order? It's God's order. إِذَنْ لَا يُضَيَّرُ. I said, we're safe. And as this man turned around and leaving his newborn baby, he raised his hand. He didn't say, Allah, you ordered me to bring him, take care of him. Oh Allah, you do this to me, and here, oh Allah, you ask me to pray. Here I pray. I need more money. No. It's not weak like us. His heart is a strong heart, and that's for you to compare your heart with the heart of this man. As he turned around, he said, Rabbi, إني أسكنت من ذريتي بواد غير ذي زرع عند بيتك المحرم ربنا ليقيموا الصلاة فاجعل أفئدة من الناس تهوي إليه. He asked Allah, said, I found home for my family. It's my desire to bring my family. Allah is order. Is his desire. Compare your heart with this heart of this man. When you come, you're required to pray 5 times a day. You're lazy to do it, or you might skip 1 or 2. So in your heart, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala order you to pay the zakat, how you perform it. See yourself, your heart is broken. Your heart is not intact like this man. You break your heart, some for money, some for family, some for your pleasure, some for this life. You need, now you diagnose your heart, you have a broken heart compared to this man. Compare this man, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just take it, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell you to show that you love me more than anything else, take your son or daughter one night to sleep in your backyard. Will you do it? This is the man who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him. Maybe people say, this is Allah's testing the Prophet Ibrahim. That's fine. But if you look at it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching you that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not ask you, order you to do things that hard for you, or that will be hard for you to do it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala order you things that very simple and easy to do. It just you have to take the initiative to do it. How's your heart now? Very weak, broken heart. As you go the 7th time and you do the zikr for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you ask Allah to to hold your heart together. You ask Allah to fix your heart. This is diagnostic time of your heart. As you finish the 7th time to tawaf, walk down to Safa and Marwa. And you see this woman, Hajar, his wife, the mother of Ismail, how strong woman she is. She did not sit down and cry and say, my husband left me, and how I'm going to feed this baby. No. She wanted to do the sa'i. She taught human how to do the sa'i. You do your part and leave the rest on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Little help, Safa and the other Marwa. You do the same thing between Safa and Marwa 7 times. That's you imitate from going from home to work. In the middle of this, there was a rock blocking her view from watching Ismail. She walked fast. You do the same thing. Your heart is with your family, yes, and you go from home to work, yes, you do your best. This is the sa'i. But the risk is on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The baby is sitting there. She went 7 times. After the 7 times, here is the rescue. The angel Jibreel came. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, Ismail. And here is Zamzam. As you go to this, do Safa between Safa and Marwa, you remember what you do. You just do the sa'i. You don't get involved on how much I'm gaining. No, I can do better than that. You do your best, that's it, and leave the rest on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This woman taught you how to do the sa'i. Her heart is strong heart. She believed in Allah. She loved Allah more than she loved herself and her children. How about you? Do you love Allah more? Or you love this life more? You love money more? You love your children more? Love of Allah. It should be the priority. As you go and you finish the 7 shawat, you go and drink from the Zamzam. And you know the Zamzam has all kind of nutrition. It's especially from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to this Prophet Ismail to get all the nutrition. You go and drink from the Zamzam and you ask Allah for whatever you want sincerely, and you recognize that how broken heart you have and ask Allah to fix it for you. You drink from this water. You do the wudu from this water. You shower yourself. This water is blessing water. Now how you feel? Now we diagnose your heart and find your heart has disease called this dunya. We found your heart full of all this whispering of Satan, make you go away from the right track. Now you need to drive to Mina. That's Hajj. You go to Mina, everybody sit down, the whole day sitting in Mina. And you remember the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. He ordered you to go to Mina. Just relax after this diagnosis. What are you going to do? You need operation to your heart. This operation will take from Fajr to sunset. This operation is one place was designated for this, the operation room, which is the mountain of Arafat. The mountain of Arafat will fix your heart and have your heart, put your heart together to be إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ, intact heart. You sit down in Mina and you look around this Mina, this Kaaba. The Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, when we came with the message, he was offered wealth, woman, position. He offered everything he can. That's the rulers of Mecca. He said, and they get this message from his uncle. They tell you, if you want money, they give you money. Woman, give you woman. Any woman, any position. He said, if they put the sun on my right and the moon on my left to leave this, I want till Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala change. The Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam suffered to deliver this message to you. What do you do with this message? The Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, when you look at this mountain around, they gathered to kill him. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him. And he went to this mountain, and the top of the mountain, where he sat down with his friend Abu Bakr, getting ready to immigrate to Medina to put the seeds of this great ummah. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did not have money or wealth or children. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is well connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His heart, strong heart. As you sit down in Mina, don't take out your phone and play games. Think about what you've done in your life. Think about what you look at, all this surrounding, which you see people full of love to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And here's the Mina. You do the zikr, you do the dua, you recognize that you need to fix your heart. You recognize that how many sins that you are carrying. You carry a heavy load of sin. And when the Fajr comes of the 9th of the Hajj, this is the Arafat. And this is where the best day, طلع فيه the Shams, the sun came out. That's what the Prophet Muhammad said. You go into the mountain of Arafat carrying all those sin, and you dump it in this mountain of Arafat. And you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, fix my heart. Oh Allah, I was a sinner, forgive me. Oh Allah, Satan did all this to me, take me away from the right track. You ask Allah whatever you want in this dunya and life. See around the benefit you're getting. See around that you are in the mountain of Arafat. It's the best day. You pray Fajr, you pray Dhuhr and Asr in mountain of Arafat. You do everything you can, keep your tongue busy with dhikr Allah or dua. And now you see your heart is fixing. You see your heart is putting together. You don't remember anything. You don't remember your business or even your wife or children or your husband. You don't remember the toys you have, all the cars or things that you spend lots of money on. You forget about all this stock market and all this activation of this life. You come down from Arafat. إذا أخذتم من عرفات فاذكروا الله عند المشاعر الحرام. You pray 2 rak'ah. That's it. The procedure. And this is not end yet. Now you go down to do the Hajj. Hajj. Slaughter. And when you do this Hajj, don't only think about how much I'm going to spend. Don't think about all this meat, where it's going to go. I'm going to eat meat. No. Think about this big conversation between a father and son. And you thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not ask you, order you to do things that will be harmful for you and your children. Conversation between a father and son. He said, يا بني إني أرى في المنام أني أذبحك فانظر ماذا ترى. Oh my son, oh my dear son, I have seen in my dream that I'm slaughtering you. What do you think? Can you imagine this conversation? A father talking to his son. Just imagine yourself, you are the father or you are the son. How you feel? إني أرى في المنام أني أذبحك فانظر ماذا ترى. What do you think? Dream. Did the son say, oh, it's your dream, forget about it? The son knows this dream is an order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here is a sharp knife. يا أبتي افعل ما تؤمر ستجدني إن شاء الله من الصابرين. Oh my father, do what you're ordered to do. I'll be patient. Here is a sharp knife, and here is the son laying down. And the father holding the sharp knife to the neck of the son. Can you imagine this scene? Can you ever forget this scene from Ibrahim and Ismail? This father, Ibrahim, he loved Allah more than he loved his son. And the son loved Allah more than he loved himself. What we doing? How is your heart now? And the son and the knife don't go. Knife, it's an order from Allah of Allah. Go knife. And it's a sharp knife. The knife don't go. The knife got an order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to harm this prophet that laying down. Or even the prophet is trying to slaughter his son. Can you imagine this? And here come the call. يا إبراهيم قد صدقت الرؤيا وفديناه بذبح عظيم. And here is the angel came with the sheep. Oh يا Ibrahim, you did it. It's as if you did it. And he sacrificed with this sheep. Do you understand this message? Do you know how much love going on here? Do you know that you will be the right person, right mu'min, right muttaqi if you love someone else better than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Love of Allah should be your priority than anything around. You understand this? And this is you go and you do the Hajj and remember and you thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for everything He gave you. He did not ask you to slaughter your son, or He didn't ask you to take your money and put it in the ocean. He did not take you to take your son or daughter and leave him on the street. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered you to pray, to do the zakat, to fast the month of Ramadan, to be good, to fear Allah in everything you do in your life. Very simple and easy orders for you, and you didn't do it good. We know and we understand who did this to you. And he was there with the father and son. He was there with the father, put his son on a newborn baby in the middle of the desert. That's the enemy of humanity. Satan. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warned us in the Quran from the Satan take you away from the right track. Satan, who is showing you that what you're doing is good. Showing you any bad things you do, this is the best you can do. Satan is there. Do you realize? أَتَتَّخِذُونَهُ وَذُرِّيَّتَهُ أَوْلِيَاءَ مِنْ دُونِي وَهُمْ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ. Do you take your friend? Satan is your friend and he's your enemy. Now you know. You recognize he's your enemy? Yes. Ya Allah, I want a revenge. Here, pick up the petals. Symbolic fight with Satan for you to know every time in your life, you know Satan is your enemy. Everything in your life, when you don't fill up your inner self, your nafs, with dhikr Allah, it will be whispering of shaitan. Satan, you pick up the pebbles, and then you go fight, symbolic. Then for you physically, had a fight with shaitan. إِنَّ كَيْدَ الشَّيْطَانِ كَانَ ضَعِيفًا. The shaitan is very weak. Satan is very weak. All you need to do is to ask Allah to protect you from it. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ وَنَعْلَمُ مَا تُوَسْوِسُ بِهِ نَفْسُهُ وَنَحْنُ أَقْرَبُ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ حَبْلِ الْوَرِيدِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you, and He knows the whispering of Satan to your inner self, your nafs. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that He is closer to you than your vein. All you need to do is that Allah protect you from Hajj. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. In all your life, this is your enemy. This is the only enemy you have. The enemy is not like your brother who did something to you and you don't talk to him forever. It's not your enemy. Your enemy is not your neighbor who treats you even bad. Your enemy is Satan who built animosity between people. Now you recognize? Go fight with Satan. How do you feel now? Your heart starts to go reality to the real life. Your heart starts to come back as you were born. And you see yourself this as when you were born. 2 sheets on you. Then you fix your heart. If you don't focus on this as you go to this trip journey, is you go and come back, nothing. But if you focus and you go there, ليشهدوا منافع لهم, to see benefit for yourself, and you see how those people, greatest people on earth, from the Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, to the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. You recognize and you know and you imitate and you recognize and you compare your heart with all those people. These people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send them to you with all these messages to show you the right way, to live good in this life, and to be the way to paradise. Now, how you feel? You feel a lot better. After you get rid of all those sins, after you go and you do the dua for Allah, after all this, now it's new you. Go shave or cut your hair. Now it's a new look. It's a new you. Now, never forget this. And then you end your trip with this. You go to wear your regular clothes. Then you might think, oh, Satan is the one who put me in this position. With this Hajj, you have to go 2 times and you do again. You revenge and you go through stones on Satan. That way you will remember that he is your enemy. After you did all this, you go back to the Kaaba and you go around, do the tawaf. How you feel now? Now the Prophet Ibrahim, how your heart compared to this heart? If you don't see change, so there's no Hajj. If you really see the change on you, on your heart, how you perform and how you ask Allah and how you do the dhikr for Allah, this is ليشهدوا منافع لهم. You finish with this tawaf and the sa'i, and then you go pay a visit to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ masjid in Medina, and you go walk slowly. You go around the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. There, start, put the seeds for this great ummah. 10 years in Medina, build the great community. More than 1/3 of the world of today are Muslims. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. And those people that supported him, the companions, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, there. And of course, don't forget Ali. Ali was not buried in Medina, but you still remember those four. That they take the message from Mecca and Medina, spread all over the world, in Asia and Africa and Europe, in China, in South, both, everywhere in the world. And you see how they were, how much they love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how much they connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And don't look at all this attraction of this life, money or wealth. Nobody was wealthy, nobody has lots of money, nobody has lots of children. They all have one in common, is the love of Allah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us to fix our heart, to put our heart intact. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم.